I have these little ornament kits, and they come with a finial and a little cap that has a hole in it so that you can put a hook in there to be able to hang the ornament. One of the two kits came with a tube, so I needed to make a tube for the other kit. I grabbed a couple of 7mm pin tubes and I cut them down to the proper length, and then I cleaned up the ends, and I chose 4 different blanks. I'm going to basically turn all 4 of these blanks. I'll present them to my wife, let her pick the 2 she likes the best, and those will be the blanks that we press the finial and the caps into. You probably noticed some lines that I already have drawn on my blanks. I initially measured the length of my tube and made my line to where I wanted to cut the blank, but I decided since 3 of my blanks are made of acrylics, I want to go ahead and drill them first, then we'll come back and cut them on the bandsaw. I want to find the center of all of my blanks, and I'll repeat this process off camera for the other 3 blanks. You've seen me do this many times before. I like to find all 4 corners. Then you can plainly see the center. At that point, we'll make a simple punch. And we're ready to head over to the drill press and drill through our blank. I chucked up my 7mm bit and I added a tape flag. Now the length of the bit extending past the bottom of the flag is about 1/8 of an inch longer than the length of the required tube. So when the bottom of the flag reaches the top of the blank, we know to stop, and we've drilled deep enough into our blank. What this will do is it will avoid any possibility of chipping out an acrylic blank, and when we cut this off on the bandsaw, we'll have a nice entry and a nice exit hole for our tube. I'm ready to start gluing tubes into my blanks, and I wanted to show you something. This is the end of the blank where I marked for center, and here's where the bit came out of the blank. And notice there's no chip out. That is a perfect hole in that blank. Here's the other piece of the blank that I cut off. Take a look at that. I have a single dimple in the blank from the drill bit. And the same holds true for all 3 of the blanks that I drilled. This blank was just a little longer than was necessary, so I wasn't able to drill it and then cut it. I guess I could because there's plenty of room left, but notice how it's got that little sort of chamfered looking area on the end that I didn't mark. Let me show you what that looks like when I pop a tube in there. Now you can see the tube is well below that, so I got lucky, and the chip out is not going to cause me a problem. But had I cut that blank to length, or had I had any worse chip out than I got, that blank would be unusable. The method of drilling first, then cutting should be used at all times with acrylic blanks. Let's go ahead and remove the Play-Doh plugs from each of our blanks. Checked up all 3 of my blanks, and I'm going to start by just truing everything and getting it round, and then we'll start thinking about potentially shaping the blanks to the final dimensions. I just finished truing my blanks. They look pretty good. I mean, they're all completely round except for this blue one. It's got a little flat spot here and half of a flat spot over here, but that'll go away as soon as I start turning, so I'm not really worried about it. It's time to begin shaping these blanks. And truthfully, I think I'm just going to go with a teardrop shape on all of them. You know, they'll hang with the shallow end up toward the top of the ornament, and then sort of a round bulbous end at the other end of the ornament. You could do anything you wanted with these. It's completely free form. There are no rules. I did my best to make a few different designs. Wasn't sure exactly what to do, so I just kind of let the tool cut where I want it to cut, and they look fine. I got a couple of teardrops here. That's almost snowman-esque. And that one kind of looked cool, like a little Christmas tree. So I'm going to get to work sanding these, and we'll just see how they end up looking, and we'll let my wife choose which ones we want to press into the kits. I've done a little bit of sanding on these just to kind of take some of the rough spots off. I got a little bit more under that lip there. This one feels pretty good. They're just about ready for micro mesh, but I've been focusing on this one because I had to dry sand it, and I want to get it off the lathe before I start using the micro mesh with the water. I've got it sanded down. It looks really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a little bit of Aussie oil on it. Now I'm hoping my Aussie oil will work well today. It's been sitting out in the garage, and it's actually very cold out here. So we'll kind of see what happens. Hopefully I can get it mixed up well, and we can put a nice finish on this olive oil Christmas tree shaped ornament. I got all 3 of my ornaments polished up with the micro mesh. I'm ready to put a little wax on them and buff them. I finished buffing the ornament blanks. It's time now for me to take them into the house. Let my wife choose the 2 she wants pressed into the kits. Here are the blanks that my wife chose, and we're ready to go ahead and assemble the ornaments. We're going to start by putting the cap section in first, then we'll put the finial. Luckily, our press has a hole in the back section, the ram section. So we're going to use that to sort of support the finial as we press it together. Okay, there we go. There's one ornament. Now let me press the second ornament together. I'm going to lay this back here so it doesn't roll off the table. Pop our cap in here. I'm doing the same thing with the finial. I'm inserting it into the hole in the ram. And then we're just going to go ahead and press this into place. There we go. And there is the orange ornament. They look really cute. I think my wife will like them. I would really like to thank you for joining me for this video. It was a lot of fun making these little ornaments. They're super simple, and if you can turn a pin, you can surely turn these. I like how they turned out. They're cute. Hopefully my wife likes them. I want to thank you for joining me in the shop today. I want you to know that you are always welcome in my shop. Come back and see me again real soon, and have a wonderful evening.